Konoha, not a six-path immortal, just powerful. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 1 _ The Death of Uchiha Mirror. In Konoha Hidden Village, in the Uchiha clan, a boy of 5 or 6 years old was sobbing in front of a corpse, and beside him was a man in his 30s wearing a Hokage Yushin robe comforting the boy of the Uchiha clan. This person is the current Hokage of Konoha, Hiruzen Sarutobi. Behind him stood a group of top-ranked bosses from Konoha Village, Shimura Danzo, Shun Koharu, Mido Gate Yen, Chio Daotsufeng, as well as the patriarchs and elders of the Uchiha clan. It is also miraculous that Konoha's high-level officials will appear in the Uchiha clan and attend the funeral of the Uchiha clan, which is also a very rare thing. Gain, the person who died, is the third elder of the Uchiha clan, and is also a disciple of the second-generation Hokage. Besides Sarutobi Hizen, the crying boy named Uchiha Kage, the son of Uchiha Mirror, is also the future 2 or 5 son, Uchiha Shisui's father. Of course, this is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that, like many protagonists of novels, he is a transmigrator. Uchiha Kage has nothing to refuse to transmigrate to become the son of Uchiha Mirror. After all, the Naruto world is a world that pays attention to bloodlines, and the Uchiha family is one of the most excellent bloodlines in this world. As a disciple of Senju Tobarama and a comrade-in-arms of Hiruzen Sarutobi, there is no doubt about his strength. Before his death, he was considered by many to be the strongest combat power of the Uchiha clan, and his future son, Uchiha Shisui, is known as the strongest illusion ninja, so as their son and father, Uchiha Kage's talent is unquestionable. In the past year, Uchiha Mirror has also started basic training for him. The talent he has shown is definitely the first among Uchiha's peers. Even the son of the patriarch, who is 2 years older than himself, Uchiha Fuyue, is probably not as good as himself. 3 days ago, Uchiha Mirror received an order to go to the border of the country of fire to perform a mission. But he did not expect that this is a farewell. Could it be so easy to die? But the most important thing is that when he saw the body, he clearly felt that his father's riding wheel had disappeared. This made Uchiha Kage very concerned, but he did not dare to say it. He believed that whether it was Hokage or the senior members of the Uchiha clan, they could pay attention to this detail. But neither of them said it obviously. They had reached some kind of tacit understanding. The death of Mirror Uchiha is related to one of the parties, and even to both parties. Uchiha Kage put the suspect target on Shimura Danzo. After all, this time, it seems that Danzo entrusted Uchiha Mirror to perform. If this matter has nothing to do with the Pot King, Uchiha Kage won't believe anything he says. Similarly, the Uchiha family, especially the patriarch, also has a great possibility. Uchiha Mirror has a different status in the Uchiha family, and it is also a representative of the Dove's heart is biased towards Konoha, and he is biased towards the Hokage family. However, among the Uchiha family, there are many people who want to kill Sarutobi Hibiki and make the patriarch Hokage. For them, Sarutobi Hibiki is not the biggest obstacle, Uchiha Mirror is. The hearts of the family are divided, so what will they use to compete for the position of Hokage? Killing Uchiha Mirror and leaving the Doves without a leader is the first choice for them. Uchiha Kage often sees his father and the patriarch quarreling frequently. These people are all suspicious, which makes Uchiha Kage very helpless. Even if he says it himself, I am afraid no one is willing to stand up for Uchiha Mirror, right? Even Sarutobi Hidden is not entirely trustworthy. At the beginning, Uchiha Kage also regarded Sarutobi Hijen as the old man behind the scenes. After all, before the time travel, the conspiracy theories of Hokage were all written rotten, and Hiruzen Sarutobi seemed to be unable to wash it off no matter how much he washed it. However, because Uchiha Q and Sarutobi Hizen are close friends, and the relationship between the two sides often meets, Uchiha Kage also discovered that this guy is not really black, but is good at compromise, even a little soft, and too emotional. Over the years, Uchiha Kage has also witnessed a lot of things. Many people say that the destruction of the Thousand Hands clan is related to Sarutobi Hijen. In fact, the disappearance of the Chansho clan really has nothing to do with Hiruzen Sarutobi. After the second generation Hokage came to power, he integrated a large number of new generations of the Chansho clan into the commoners of Konoha, and also carried out various marriages with major families. Tsunade's mother is the daughter of the Fire Country's daimyo, Mido Minyen, who has been hacked into waste by countless people, and his wife is also a member of the Thousand Hands clan. And the First Ninja World War was led by Chisho Tobarama himself. He rushed to the battlefield with the only remaining Chisho clan, and suffered heavy losses. It can be said that in today's Chisho clan, only some old people are left. The first generation is in charge, and the younger generation is left with only Tsunade and Rouge. And these two people don't even have a surname. Everyone knows that the Chansho family has become a thing of the past. Of course, there are also many problems with Sarutobi Hizen today. He cannot suppress the major families, and can only divide his power. This has also led to the status of Hokage, which is not as supreme as the novel, and even received a lot of criticism. Constraints. Not only are they under the supervision of the elders, but those big D families can also influence many of Hokage's decisions. Konoha is not a single word of Hiruzen Sarutobi. Sarutobi Hizen is not a bad person, but he is not a good person either. Of course, this is only now, and time can change many people. Episode 2. Uchiha Kage is almost certain that his father was definitely not killed by Hiruzen Sarutobi. After all, Uchiha Mirror supports Hiruzen Sarutobi, and he is biased towards the village worry about the problems of the Uchiha clan. But now that Uchiha Mirror is dead, the situation has changed. After that, there will be an accident on Uchiha's side, and the pattern of Konoha will become more confusing. Uchiha Kage can't believe it. Sarutobi hidden found nothing, but he didn't say anything, which made Uchiha Kage feel chilled his father. But Sarutobi Hizen thought that he could hand over his back to the other party, his best friend, but Sarutobi Hizen refused to even investigate how he died. You need to become stronger quickly, and then keep a hand. Ding, found that the host's parents sacrificed to the sky, the system is turned on. The system is turning on 1%, 5%, 10%, 20%, 99%, 100% at this time. A mechanical voice appeared in Uchiha Kage's mind. This also surprised Uchiha Kage's heart. Has his golden finger finally arrived? Before, he thought he might not have a golden finger. Unexpectedly, it is possible to ask parents to sacrifice geniuses. Sure enough, only orphans can become strong. Uchiha Kage didn't dare to show his inner excitement too much at present. The strongest people in Konoha village, except Uzumaki Mito, are all here, and he doesn't want to be discovered. Don't underestimate these masters. For the current Uchiha Kage, a single stamina is enough to kill him. System, is there? Uchiha Kage silently called to the system in his heart. Yes, the Wanjie red envelope system is happy to serve you. The system replied in Uchiha Kage's mind with a special mechanical sound. Wanjie red envelope system? Before Uchiha Kage hesitated for a long time, a map appeared in his mind. This is a real map. This is his appearance with a range of 1 kilometer. There are several small. The red dots represent the location of the red envelopes. And the red envelope closest to him appeared on Sarutobi Hizen's head, and it was marked on it. Show the seduction technique in front of Sarutobi Hizen. It seems that this should be the condition for opening the red envelope. However, now does not seem to be an opportunity. He turned his head to look at the heads of other people, and found that many of them had instruction red packets on their heads, such as Danzo above is, let Tuanzo be disgraced and discredited by Konoha. Uchiha Patriarch, become Uchiha Patriarch. Going to bed Seachun, tell him to go to bed Seachun, Auntie Seachun, I don't want to work hard anymore, please take care of me. Mito Menyen, tell Mito Menyen, actually, Danzo has had a crush on your wife for a long time. The last time I saw Danzo staring at your wife's back, I drooled. Take the wind from the autumn road, defeat the autumn road to take the wind in the Big Stomach King competition. Good guy, these command red packets are all hell level, and none of them can be opened by oneself. Not for the time being, at least. On the head of his dead father, there is also an instruction red envelope. Investigate the cause of Kyo Uchiha's death and successfully avenge him. Seeing this red envelope, Uchiha Kage was a little silent. Sure enough, was there a reason for his death? But now, it is very difficult for me to investigate. He looked at the 2 red envelopes not far away without instructions. The red envelopes seem to be open at any time, so wait and try. That is a shortcut to become stronger. If you rely on your own efforts, I am afraid it will be difficult to grow up to the point where you can give your father. Uchiha's blood is strong, and he is considered a genius of the Uchiha family, but a normal Uchiha, even if he opens a kaleidoscope, wants to face a family and a village, it is almost impossible. Just when Uchiha Kage was thinking about a lot of things, a big hand was placed on his shoulder. Uchiha Kage looked up, and found that Sarutobi Hizen was looking at him kindly at the moment. Child, your father is for Konoha, sacrificed is Konoha's hero. Konoha will remember him. Believe that he does not want you to be ugly because of his death. Uchiha Kage opened his mouth, but he couldn't say anything. He really wanted to point to the body of his old father and say to Hizen, Sarutobi, didn't you see it? My father died for a special reason, even his eyes were gouged out, and you still told me he was Konoha's hero? But in this case, Uchiha Kage would not dare to say it if he really said it. Uchiha Shisui was destined to disappear, and he might not be able to see the sun tomorrow. Even if this matter has nothing to do with Hiruzen Sarutobi, it has nothing to do with some people present. Seeing Uchiha Kage's appearance, Sarutobi Hizen also sighed lightly. He did not doubt that Uchiha Kage knew some truth after all. How could such a small child see so many things? I'm afraid there's already a lot of noise. He just thought that Uchiha Kage was sad because of his father's death. Thinking of Uchiha Mirror, Sarutobi Hizen felt sad for a while. Mirror, why did you just go like this? There's not even a clue left. Which bastard did it to you? Don't let me find out. Unfortunately, Sarutobi Hizen also knew that this could only be roaring in his heart. The clues he found made it impossible for him to continue to investigate, otherwise, there would be huge changes. Can only be sorry for the mirror. Episode 3. Son, if you have something to do in the future, you can come to Hokage's office, or find your uncle at your uncle's house. Hiruzen Sarutobi touched Uchiha Kage's head and said softly. Perhaps it is because of his friendship and guilt for Uchiha Q at this moment. He even wants to take Uchiha Kage away and raise it himself, but he knows that this is unrealistic. It is impossible for the Uchiha family to agree that Uchiha's blood will flow outside, not even his Hokage. Similarly, on their side, they also need their own people inside Uchiha, and Uchiha Kage is the best candidate. Thank you. Uchiha Kage gratefully looked at Sarutobi Hipsan with Sarutobi Hipsan's words. He didn't need to worry about his own life for the time being. At least the Uchiha family didn't dare to make things difficult for Uchiha Kage. After all, this can go to Sarutobi Hizen to complain. Yeah. Sarutobi Hizen sighed silently, and then glanced at the few people present, especially after staying with the Uchiha clan chief for a while, before leaving with Danzo and others. As Hokage, he is very busy if he and Q are close friends, otherwise, he would not come here at all. But the face of Uchiha's patriarch was a little unsightly. He knew that Sarutobi Hizen's words were aimed at him. Originally, he also wanted to take back Uchiha Mirror's house. After all, this is one of the best houses in the Uchiha family, and many people are eyeing it. As for Uchiha Kage, just give him a house. But because of Sarutobi Hizen's words, it makes it difficult for him to do so. He glanced at the fifth elder of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Hideki. Like Uchiha Mirror, the other party was also a representative of the Dove faction. Uchiha Hideki was also looked at by him. Without Uchiha Mirror, he would very passive too. Elder Mirror's funeral will be handed over to you next. As for Uchiha Kage's life, you will also take care of it, Uchiha Patriarch said in a low voice, and then left. Accompanying him to leave was a group of senior members of the Uchiha clan, leaving only a few elites of the Uchiha clan to stay. They were all staunch supporters of Uchiha Mirror before, but they are still somewhat unacceptable. Uchiha Mirror's death. Elder Hideki. Several people looked at Uchiha Hideki, wanting to ask each other's opinions. Obviously, some people have noticed Uchiha Mirror's eye problem, and they even argued before. Unfortunately, it was all in vain. Send Elder Mirror for the last ride. Uchiha Hideki also came to Uchiha Kage's side and patted his shoulder to comfort him. Yukihage nodded slightly, then walked silently to a red envelope not far away, and said to the system silently, "System, open the red envelope." Ding, the host opened the red envelope to get ninjutsu fire escape fire bullet. Do you want to learn? Learn. Uchiha's shadow is not as good. Standby use, Zhongzhuan, group, 7:6, 6:0, 18, 320 said hesitantly. Immediately afterwards, Uchiha Kage's mind came up with the use of fire escape and flame bullets. Although he had only mastered this ninjutsu at a preliminary level, further development was required to use it proficiently. However, this kind of instant mastery of a ninjutsu is already rare. Then he ran to another red envelope and opened the red envelope. Ding, the host opened the red envelope to obtain the illusion of the fox's mind. Do you want to learn it? Learn. Uchiha Kage said silently here, and at the same time he was also curious for a while. Didn't he say that this is the Wanjie red envelope system? Why did he encounter only the ninjutsu of Naruto world? Although Uchiha Kage was very happy to learn these ninjutsu instantly, but he was not enough. He looked at Uchiha Hideki, but unfortunately, there was no command red envelope on his head, so Uchiha Kage couldn't do it if he wanted to open the command red envelope. Child, leave it to me next. Seeing Uchiha's absent-minded appearance, Uchiha Hideki didn't say much. He can only comfort him silently, but unfortunately, the child did not activate the wheel-shaking eye because of this. Of course, he also knows that it is not a good thing to open the wheel-shaking eye too early. The Uchiha family will not think that the sooner the person who opens the wheel-riding eye is a genius. Isn't Madara Uchiha also a wheel-shaking eye awakened in his teens? After so many younger brothers died, I still haven't awakened Sharingan in the end, except for the first Hokage. Is it invincible in the world? Thank you. Uchiha Kage glanced gratefully at Uchiha Hideki, then walked out of the room. He didn't want to stay here. The more he stayed here, the more angry he became. Who the hell took his father's eyes off? When he came to the outside of the house, Uchiha Ing saw a little girl with pink and jade carvings. Her name was Uchiha Makoto, the daughter of Uchiha Hideki, and the mother of the future Otsutsuki and Yida 7. However, now it is his childhood sweetheart. At this moment, there is also an instruction red envelope on Uchiha Makoto's head. Let Uchiha Makoto cook a meal for the protagonist after the host finishes eating. He exclaims loudly that whoever can marry Makoto will really be bad for 8 lifetimes. Are you sure you're not kidding? If she really said something like that, I'm afraid Makoto would refuse to talk to herself for a long time, right? Episode 4 _ the template of Otsutsuki Yuki. Is it invincible? Kage, are you okay? Seeing Uchiha Kage's figure, Uchiha Makoto came over and asked nervously. Fortunately, as a ninja, it's normal to die during a mission. Uchiha Kage said with a wry smile, it's just a little unacceptable for the time being. Kage, you. Uchiha Makoto felt heartbroken when she saw Uchiha Kage like this. Makoto, I remember you were learning to cook recently, right? Uchiha Kage waved his hand and said to Uchiha Makoto, ah? Yes. But it's still not very good. Uchiha Makoto said with some twist, can you cook me a meal? Well, I made it myself, I want to eat it, if I make it myself. Uchiha Kage looked at Uchiha Makoto with burning eyes and said, this should be the easiest red envelope to open. He didn't want to miss such an opportunity. Are you sure you want to eat? Uchiha Makoto asked after a moment of silence. Yeah. Uchiha Kage nodded quickly. Then, what happened to make Uchiha Kage collapse? Uchiha Makoto cooked him a meal, But this meal, the problem is not ordinary. Looking at the charred dish, Uchiha Kage realized that this might not be the easiest red envelope to open. Although other red envelopes are also difficult, eating dishes made by Uchiha Mikoto may be fatal. You shouldn't have any special fantasies about a 6-year-old child. No matter how virtuous the future Uchiha Mikoto is, she is even considered by many to be the best wife in the entire Naruto world, but she can't stand it anymore. She is still young. Why don't you eat it? Uchiha Mikoto also said a little embarrassedly, apparently noticing some problems with the food she cooked. No, I'll eat it. Uchiha Kage gritted his teeth and picked up the chopsticks, then ate frantically, chewing and swallowing slowly, nothing at all if he slowed down. He was worried that he would spit it out and eat again, not go down. At the risk of having his stomach pierced, Uchiha Kage still ate the food Uchiha Mikoto cooked, and then said in a bitter tone, "Whoever can marry Mikoto will really be in bad luck for 8 lifetimes." After speaking, he ran straight into Mikoto's bathroom and vomited. Originally, Mikoto was very sad and angry when she heard this, and even had the idea of not paying attention to Uchiha Kage for a while. But when she heard Uchiha Kage's vomit, Uchiha Mikoto was also frightened and ran in. When I went to the bathroom, I saw Uchiha Kage who was vomiting continuously, and his face turned white with fright. He stepped forward and patted Uchiha Kage's back, and asked with concern, "King, are you alright?" "Okay, vomit." What can Uchiha Kage say? Did he feel as if he saw his dead father? It's just killing me, isn't it? Ding, the host opens the instruction red envelope. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Otsutsuki Yuki template. Is it fusion? Winky face. When I heard the system prompt, Uchiha Kage didn't have the heart to vomit. Otsutsuki Yuki? Isn't that the 6 Pass Immortal? The proud bloodline of the Uchiha family is just part of the power of the 6 Pass Immortals, and as a result, he suddenly got the template of the 6 Pass Immortals? Uchiha Kage felt that it was worth risking his own life to eat food this time. Looking at other people's crossings, the protagonist gets the power of Indra or Azura, so he is happy and doesn't want it. If you can develop this template to the extreme, you will also have the top power in this world. Fusion. Uchiha Kage said without even thinking about it. Then Uchiha Kage felt that he had undergone a drastic change, that is, even the chakra in the body was rapidly increasing, and the eyes became clearer and clearer. King, you? Uchiha Mikoto naturally reacted immediately, looked at Uchiha Kage in disbelief, and exclaimed, "Ing, you opened your eyes." She could feel the surge of Uchiha Kage's chakra, but she didn't have much doubts. It is said that after the opening of Sharingan, all aspects of the Uchiha clan will be improved. I think it should be the effect of Sharingan. Yeah, I opened my eyes. Uchiha Kage looked to the bathroom next to him, double-hooked jade. It's not a direct 3-go jade, it's a little weak. Some are sorry for the 6 Path Immortals. However, he also knew that he did not directly obtain the power of the 6 Path Immortals at their peak, but only obtained the template of Otsutsuki Yuki. To what extent he can grow next, he still needs to develop it himself at present. It can only be said that Uchiha Kage's talent has become the ceiling of this world. Can I open my writing wheel after eating the food I made? Uchiha Mikoto looked at Uchiha Kage in disbelief with a look of disbelief. Uchiha Ing also twitched the corners of his mouth when he heard the words, "If God eats your food, he can open the writing wheel I'm open, okay?" But he couldn't tell Uchiha Mikoto about it, and the previous vomiting made Uchiha Kage feel a lot more comfortable, so he shouldn't have to go to the hospital. Episode 5 _ he is here. The classic picture is here again. Uchiha Kage opened the writing wheel, and when he opened his eyes, it was about Schwanguyu, which was not concealed, but spread to the entire Uchiha clan and the ears of Konoha executives on the same day. This made the hearts of many people in the Uchiha clan very complicated. Those doves seemed to have found the backboning was indeed the son of Elder Jing. Such a talent was really unspeakable. Although it is not the sooner the talent is turned on, the better, but at the beginning, it is a double-hooked jade to write the wheel I. Such a talent is naturally beyond doubt. It's just that Patriarch Uchiha is very dissatisfied. The son of the mirror is also a genius. It's a pity. In Hokage's office, Sarutobi Hizen heard the news and took a sip of the dry smoke in his hand. Is it because of Kagami's death? The Uchiha family is indeed a magical family, which is a pity. Hizen, give me the son of mirror. He is a genius. I can definitely train him to become the mainstay of Konoha. Shimura Danzo said coldly while sitting on the side. His words made the faces of Quancho Xiaochun and Mito Minyan also startled. They didn't expect that Danzo wanted to attack Jing's son before Jing's body was cold. How could they not be shocked? Although they are dissatisfied with the Uchiha clan, and sometimes they even have a feeling that the goddamn Uchiha is not destroyed, but they still have feelings for the mirror. Danzo. At this time, Sarutobi Hizen said in a serious tone, Kage is the son of mirror, we are his uncle, and I gave him his name. I won't allow it. He entered the route. He should not live in the dark. We need him. Uchiha needs him. Konoha needs him too. Rijiao. Shimura Danzo also did not expect that Sarutobi Hizen would be so strong against him. This time, there are many doubts about Kyo's death among them. The Uchiha family has a big problem for the unity of Konoha. We cannot continue to investigate, but Kyo's son, we must protect it. If we see Aunt do it, how can we face the mirror after we die? Hizen Sarutobi glared at Shimura Danzo and said, Konoha needs the Uchiha clan, a united, Uchiha clan who has a heart for Konoha now that the mirror is gone. The shadow is our only hope. But he is from Uchiha, and he has also awakened the Sharingan. Don't forget, once the people of Uchiha have opened the Sharingan, people tend to become extreme. Shimura Danzo did not forget to give Uchiha a shadow eyedropper. Said, if he doesn't guide him well, what if he does something unfavorable to Konoha? He has always been uncomfortable watching Uchiha ing? Isn't that Hokage? How could he like such a kid? And this is still cut from the sun. What does this mean? Is he trying to train that kid to become Hokage? How could Shimura Danzo accept such a thing? I believe in Shadow, he is the son of Mirror. I believe he will be the heir to the will of fire. Sarutobi Hizen silently smoked the cigarette in his hand. He actually hated the Uchiha clan, not only because of the influence of the teacher Senju Tobarama, but also because of this period of time. The Uchiha family is always making trouble for themselves in Konoha village. The Uchiha family has a great influence, especially in the Senju family. After gradually starting to hide, the Uchiha family has become more and more powerful. Fortunately, a mirror appeared before, guiding the Dove faction within the Uchiha family, which led to the Uchiha family not becoming a serious problem for the confidant. If possible, he would like to see the Uchiha clan who really became Konoha, but it's a pity that the mirror didn't do it. So what about the shadow? In the future, can he do it? Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hizen again warned Danzo with stern eyes and said, Danzo, I know you don't like the Uchiha clan, but we are high-level officials of Konoha, and when dealing with Konoha's major affairs, we cannot personal grievances are involved. Humph. Danzong snorted coldly, and also got up and left. He knew that he would not be able to reach out to Uchiha Kage for the time being. However, the time is still long. Maybe that kid wants to join the roots in the future. Hisashi, Danzo is just worried that the shadow side will be influenced by Uchiha. Seeing Shimura Danzo leave, Mito Gate Yen also stood up and said, I know, if I could, I thought about adopting a shadow, but unfortunately, Uchiha won't agree to it. We also need a shadow. Sarutobi Hizen glanced at the two old friends and said, if possible, I also hope that the image is like an ordinary child, but he is the son of the mirror, and there are some things that he cannot escape. Need to strengthen the bond between him and Konoha. Suddenly, Xiaoqun said, as the only woman among several people, she was a think tank in many cases. Her opinion, even Sarutobi Hizen will take it seriously. Is it tied? I believe he will. A smile appeared on Sarutobi Hizen's face and said, who do you think is more suitable for Tsunade and Orochimaru? Hinzaki, what do you mean? Turning to bed, Koharu and Mito Minyen all looked at Sarutobi Hizen with shocked eyes. This sentence is not only the surface meaning, but the meaning behind it is even more important. Episode 6_open to coconut milk. Literally. Sarutobi Hizen shook his head slightly. At least I'm still young, and I love this village, and my potential is huge. I even think he will be the strongest among the three in the future. But there is something wrong with his temperament. He will become a strong man and a very reliable person. But in other aspects, he is not as good as Tsunade and Orochimaru. As for Tsunade and Orochimaru, they are both suitable, but I am more optimistic about Orochimaru. One thing he didn't say: although the Chisho clan is gone, Tsunade doesn't even have the surname Chisho. However, if Tsunade becomes Hokage, there is no guarantee that other troubles will not occur, and Tsunade himself does not the idea. On the contrary, it was Orochimaru. He was born as a real civilian. If he had the help of Uchiha, he would become better in the future. If water, resource, source, group 6, 5, 6, 6, 1, 8, 8, 9, 6, preparation, use, medium, turn. Group 7, 6, 6, 0, 1, 8, 3, 2, 0, this point. In fact, Sarutobi Hizen has always been like this. Just like when he started to cultivate Namake's Minato, he handed Uchiha Obito into his hands, thus establishing a relationship with the Uchiha clan. Hatake Kakashi's network is not low. Even if White Fang is gone, Kakashi has not grown up, but the invisible energy should not be underestimated. Then Orochimaru. Xiaoqun said very thoughtfully, yeah, but it's still too early to say this. Sarutobi Hizen nodded slightly, and didn't say anything. There was a flash of strange color in his eyes. Who was the one who killed the mirror? Damn, don't let Lao Tzu find you. Uchiha Kage walks on the streets of the Uchiha family, wandering east and west. It seems to be wandering aimlessly. Well, at least most people think so. Only Uchiha Kage knows that he is this looking for a red envelope. Red envelopes can really help you become stronger. After obtaining the template of Otsutsuki Yuki, Uchiha Kage felt that his talent was not only twice as simple as before, his chakra doubled, and his physical fitness improved a lot. At this moment, he is also desperately hoping that he can open other red envelopes. Fortunately, there are still a lot of ordinary red envelopes on the street. Ding, the host opened the red envelope to get a kunai made of pure gold. Well, it seems to be quite profitable. Hide it first. If you run out of money later, you can sell it for a lot of money. Ding, the host opened the red envelope to get the ninjutsu Earth Escape Earth Flow Wall. Do you want to learn? Learn. Uchiha Kage agreed without hesitation. Ryobi is a classic ninjutsu among Naruto, especially carving a dog's head. Ding, the host opened the red envelope to get a small space ring. Hearing the system's prompt, Uchiha Kage also showed a smile on his face, which seemed very good. With a space ring, it will not be abrupt to open anything in the future. After he put on the space ring, he found that it was only about 10 cubic meters in size, whether it was big or small, and it was indeed enough for the time being. Ding, the host opens the red envelope to get a box of white elephant instant noodles. Well, support conscientious enterprises. This point, give a like. Ding, the host opened the red envelope to get a box of white flower snake grass water system. Are you sure you are not joking? Can you drink this? In his previous life, he had also heard of the reputation of the white-flowered snake grass water, which was considered by many to be one of the most unpleasant beverages to drink. Now that I have opened it, whoever provokes me in the future will let him drink this thing. Ding, the host opened the red envelope to get the 1% progress of the Otsutsuki Yuki template. Is it integrated? Hearing the system prompt, Uchiha Kage's eyes were also happy. Even the progress of Otsutsuki Yuki can be improved? It seems that you don't have to keep developing progress, and there is a chance that you can get progress by opening red envelopes for Uchiha Kage. This is also a good thing. He opened Jade writing will before, and now he has 8% progress. If it is 1%, he should be able to improve it a bit, right? The system, can it be stored first, without fusion? Uchiha Kage asked silently to the system. It can be reserved for 24 hours. The voice of the system made Uchiha Kage slightly relieved. 24 hours was enough for Uchiha Kage to find a place where he could progress in fusion. If he is in the public and has no reason to improve his strength and is perceived by some people, it will also have some troubles for him. Ding, the host opened the red envelope to get the sauerkraut made by Uzumaki Mido, with the skin of Uzumaki Mido's feet on it. Winky face, damn, are you sure the system isn't joking? Can you take this thing out? Are you serious? And it's the skin of Uzumaki Mido's feet? It would be fine if Uzumaki Mido had the skin of his feet when he was young, but now, he admitted that Uzumaki Mido was really beautiful when he was young, but now he is an old lady as the son of Q Uchiha. He had seen Uzumaki Mido before. It's a pity that I didn't deliberately keep my face. Ding, the host opened the red envelope to get 10 liters of coconut milk from the half-immortal beast. Is coconut milk the coconut milk I think? Hey, it seems pretty good. Aunt Sachun when she was young was also one of the top 5 in Hokage. Episode 7_Dad's Relic. Kage, are you still not going back? Uchiha Mikoto watched Uchiha Kage wandering aimlessly on the street, with a strange look on her face from time to time. She was also worried. Ing just lost his father, so he must be in a bad mood now, right? Okay. Uchiha Kage looked at the sky and found that it was getting late, so he nodded in agreement. King, let's practice together tomorrow. Uchiha Mikoto said suddenly as they were walking home. Uchiha Kage looked at Uchiha Mikoto in surprise. Uchiha Mikoto's talent was actually very good. She was one of the first to extract chakra among children of the same age, but before, she was not very interested in improving her strength. This also makes Uchiha Mikoto's strength not strong, but she did not expect that Uchiha Mikoto would take the initiative to ask to practice with herself. When the time comes, I will let my father teach us, Uchiha Mikoto said with a strange look flashing in her beautiful eyes. Okay. Uchiha Kage glanced at Uchiha Mikoto in surprise, and after finding that there was no special look on her face, she nodded in agreement. I used to be in the Uchiha clan, and I could get the best educational resources. Uchiha Mirror is the Uchiha clan, the strongest master. Now that he is gone, his status must have plummeted even before Uchiha Shadow has already been ready for all kinds of troubles. As the elder of the Uchiha clan, Hideki Uchiha is also the elite of the clan, and it is absolutely enough to teach his current self. After sending Uchiha Mikoto home, Uchiha Kage also returned to his home, and then integrated the 1% development degree that had been opened before. Uchiha Kage felt that his strength had been greatly improved again. Sure enough, the system is the best way to improve one's strength. Immediately afterwards, he took out another cup of coconut milk. The rich milk fragrance, just smelling it, made him feel relaxed. Coconut milk, he likes coconut milk. As expected of the essence of coconut sheep, he could feel that this coconut milk was a great supplement for him, which could improve his strength. Thinking of this, he directly drank the cup of coconut milk, and then he felt the powerful energy in it, filling his limbs and bones, further improving his body. Genshin Impact World and Hokage World, which world level is more powerful? Uchiha Kage can't grasp this point well, but thinking about it, Ganyu, as a half-immortal beast, is much stronger than the so-called shadow level, and even reaching the so-called super shadow level, it is not impossible. Uchiha Kage felt that if he could drink coconut milk regularly, his strength would be greatly improved. Uchiha Mirror's body has been taken to burial, not buried in the exclusive mausoleum of the Uchiha family, but went to Konoha's exclusive mausoleum, and was even engraved on the hero monument. The house is empty, so Uchiha Kage is also a little empty, and today I am the only one left. He sighed silently, and then walked to Uchiha Mirror's study. There is a lot of Uchiha Mirror's cultivation experience here. He is going to study it. These things must be of great benefit to him in the future. Huh? This seems to be a ninjutsu scroll? Uchiha Kage found several scrolls on the desk, and squinted his eyes, then opened the scroll and looked at it, wanting to see how much dad had left for him inheritance underscore. In this world, ninjutsu is very important if ordinary people want to learn ninjutsu. In addition to the three-body art that can be learned in school, they can only wait for graduation if they are lucky. They can get the teaching of their own teacher if your teachers are upset with you. They will not teach you anything. The ordinary upper and middle ninjas have more of a relationship with the lower level ones. The relationship between master and apprentice in the Naruto world is very strict even if this world often happens to kill teachers. But in fact, the real relationship between master and apprentice is not only the inheritance of ninjutsu and strength, but also the way of ninja inheritance. Just like Naruto and Kakashi, it was more like a subordinate relationship at first, and Kakashi regarded Sasuke as his disciple more. Ordinary people, if they want to obtain ninjutsu, they still have to exchange their merits with the village. Of course, for people who have a family, this situation becomes different. This is also the difference between family ninjas and commoner ninjas. Uchiha Kage was also very curious about how much ninjutsu mirror can leave for himself. Ding, did you learn the technique of ninjutsu Hodun and how fireball? Uchiha Kage's face was also happy when he heard the system prompt. It seemed that the system was better than he imagined. It can directly help you learn this ninjutsu, although after learning it, it is only a preliminary grasp. If you want to master it, you need your own efforts. But now he has the template of Otsutsuki Yuki. After knowing the principles of ninjutsu, how could he not learn those ninjutsu? What he lacks is the principle of ninjutsu, and the others. It seems that it is not difficult to learn and master. Perhaps ninjutsu like Flying Thunder God is not difficult for him. Episode 8 _ improved version of the instant body technique, instant figure? Learn. After learning the fire escape and the fireball technique, Uchiha Kage turned his gaze to the other ninjutsu scrolls and opened them one by one. Ding, I found out ninjutsu fire escape, Fengxian fire technique. Do you want to learn it? Ding, I found out that ninjutsu fire escape impatience flower claw red. Do you want to learn it? Ding, I discovered the ninjutsu fire escape dragon fire technique. Do you want to learn it? Ding, I discovered the ninjutsu Hodun dragon fire technique. Do you want to learn it? Learn to learn. Uchiha Kage chose to accept it without hesitation, but at the same time, it was a little pity that among these Hodun scrolls, there were no two ninjutsu techniques, Hodun Huahua extinguishing and Hodun Huahua extinguishing. It seems that even his own father did not get the inheritance of these two fire escape ninjutsu. It seems that in the original work, only Madara Uchiha knows this ninjutsu. It is not that this ninjutsu is too difficult to learn after all. These are 2B rank ninjutsu difficulty. It's just a ninjutsu, with different powers in the hands of different people. Hodun Huahua extinction and Hodun Huahua extinction look terrifying, and that's more because Madara Uchiha is using these ninjutsu. Except for Madara Uchiha, it may be difficult for other people to fully exert the power of these two ninjutsu. Immediately afterwards, Uchiha Kage turned his attention to other scrolls. Ding, I discovered Uchiha style swordsmanship. Do you want to learn it? Ding, I found out that Uchiha mirror specially improved shunshu technique. Do you want to learn it? Ding, discover the magic of the magic shackles. Do you study it? Hearing the sound of the system prompt, Uchiha Kage was excited again, especially that Uchiha Kage's specially improved body snap technique was of special significance to Uchiha Kage. After all, his future son, Uchiha Shisui, is known for his instant body skills. It also has the nickname of Shunsher Jishui. Perhaps Jishui has learned the specially improved Shunshu technique of Uchiha mirror, and even he has improved the technique of Uchiha mirror once again. He chose to study without hesitation. Then, he felt as if he was invincible. Of course, this invincibility is an arrogant concept, and he is still weak today. Strength needs to be improved slowly, and despite the template of Otsutsuki Yuki, he cannot be proud or arrogant. The template of Otsutsuki Yuki is just a template. It will take a long time for him to grow to the level of Otsutsuki Yuki. I don't know if the 9 tails and the others can recognize their chakra, but if they can recognize the 9 tails, then what about the black? Absolutely. Winky face, thinking of Heiju, Uchiha Kage also started to panic. That guy Heiju can't wait to kill himself. It seems that we need to improve our strength as soon as possible, and at the same time, we can't wave. Uchiha Kage picked up his father's practice experience and started to study it. Sure enough, Uchiha Kage was very powerful. He wrote some ninjutsu experience in his notes. Maybe he also thought that he would one day. He died in the midst of the mission, and only then did he write down his cultivation experience in the notes, so that Uchiha Kage had good cultivation conditions. The next day, after Uchiha Kage had a breakfast, he walked out of the house and ran to Uchiha Makoto's house next door. Unlike Uchiha Makoto, he is a traveler, and he can still cook basic meals, and he does it well. When Uchiha Kage came to Uchiha Makoto's house, she found that Uchiha Makoto also woke up early and was receiving the teachings of Uchiha Hideki. King, you're here. Have you eaten yet? Uchiha Hideki saw Yage's arrival. Water, capital. Source group 6, 5, 6:6, 1, 8. 8:9, 6, prepare, use, in, turn, group, comma. 7 feet 6 inches, 6 inch, 0, 1:8:3, 2, 0 came, nodded slightly, and then asked. He is still very optimistic about Uchiha Kage. It was a pity for him before Uchiha Kage didn't wake up because of the sacrifice of the mirror, but he didn't expect that he would wake up because he ate the food made by his daughter right round eyes. Of course, knowing the truth, he directly attributed all the reasons to the death of Q Uchiha in this world. How could someone eat a meal that almost poisoned him and wake up to right round eyes? If it can really be done like this, the people of their Uchiha family don't need to worry about how to open the writing wheel, and they can all eat the meals made by their daughters. I've eaten it. Uchiha Kage nodded slightly, but at the same time there was a trace of strangeness in his heart, and he seemed to be able to feel a trace of special emotion now. For example, the kindness and maliciousness of others towards oneself. Although this kind of feeling does not seem to be very sensitive, it is only a trace, but it is very magical. However, this seems to be reasonable. After all, what I got is the template of Otsutsuki Yuki. Isn't it normal for something like this to happen? Judging from Uchiha Hideki's feelings about himself, he has good intentions, and he can get closer to Uncle Hideki more in the future. Okay, you have turned on the Sharingan now. The mirror should not have taught you how to use the Sharingan before. Next, you come to me every morning, and I will teach you. Uchiha Hideki's tone was serious. Said, Episode 9 isn't 5 years old and haven't reached the movie level? Thank you, Uncle Hideki. Uchiha Kage said gratefully. The other party is a good person. Sharing if only I could open the writing wheel too. Uchiha Mikoto also sighed at this time. This made Uchiha Hideki helpless for a while, and opened the writing wheel? Are you sure you're serious? You want me, this old man, to sacrifice to heaven? Although Uchiha Kage's writing wheel was opened by eating the food cooked by Mikoto, Uchiha Hideki believed that Uchiha Kage's writing wheel was opened because of Uchiha Mirror's death. As a senior member of the Uchiha family, Uchiha Hideki said that there are not many people who know how to write round eyes better than himself. And her own daughter is more of a catalyst. You should lay a solid foundation. Uchiha Hideki snorted lightly, said to his daughter, and then said to Uchiha Kage, did the mirror teach you ninjutsu before? Well, I taught some. Uchiha Kage nodded slightly. Hiding must be hidden. If the performance is too evil, if it spreads out, he may be tragic. Whether it's some people inside Uchiha or some people in Konoha, they don't want to grow up by themselves, and they are even said to be people outside Konoha. Huh? What did you learn? Uchiha Hideki looked curiously at Uchiha's shadow. It will be a fireball. After speaking, Uchiha Kage quickly made a seal against the empty space, and then spit out a small fireball. Episode 9. In this scene, Uchiha Hideki also set off a stormy wave in his heart. This is indeed the technique of arrogant fireball. Although the power of this arrogant fireball is not too big, Uchiha Kage has learned it anyway. As for the power, after Uchiha Kage's control of chakra and the increase in the amount of chakra, the power will naturally increase. Don't underestimate Huaduenhouse fireball technique. Many Uchiha clansmen may not be able to master this ninjutsu well in their entire lives. At the same time, this is also the foundation of Uchiha's fire ninjutsu. He has the skill of arrogant fireball. After learning other fire ninjutsu, it will be a lot easier. After all, it's the mirror's son. He is really a super genius. I don't know if Uchiha Madara was as good as Uchiha back then. At this moment, the more Uchiha Hideki looks at Uchiha Kage, the more satisfied he is. If this is his own son, that would be great. Thinking of this, Uchiha Hideki looked at his daughter absently. King, I'll teach you other basic skills next. As if he had made up his mind, Uchiha Hideki said to Uchiha Kage in a serious tone, trouble you. Uchiha Kage said quickly. In the next 2 months, Uchiha Kage and Uchiha Mikoto will be taught by Uchiha Hideki every morning with the teaching of such an elite joinin. Uchiha Kage's strength has also been greatly improved. He doesn't know what level of strength he has now, but if he thinks about it, he should not be worse than the just graduated genin, or even better than Kakashi of the same period. You can mock Kakashi for becoming a combat unit in the future, but you cannot deny Kakashi's strength in his youth. Really want to move out 12-year-old people of the same age. 12-year-old Hazuma and Madara may not be better than Kakashi, but the writing wheel is a drag on him. Hey, my strength has improved quite well, but if I continue to train like this, the rate of progress may slow down a bit. It seems that I need to go out for a walk. Uchiha Kage murmured after the exercise. During this period of time, he has been practicing very hard, but unfortunately, age limits him, and it is impossible for him to overdraft his future and gain a strong strength. Although he now has the template of Otsutsuki Yuki, he doesn't dare to be careless. Effort is hard work, but the combination of work and rest is also very important. It would be great if he could also have the means to detect his own strength. Unfortunately, his system seems to be a little weak. Ding, the host's inner appeal is detected, and the system opens the protagonist's personal panel. Check it out. Check. Uchiha Kage was also speechless. There seems to be some problems with his own system. Why didn't you open such an important thing before, and you still need to urge it yourself? Name, Uchiha Kage. Age, 5. Template, Otsutsuki Yuki, 103%. Chakra amount, 7 calories. Physical skill level, genin level, Ninjutsu, Huaduanhao Fireball, Phoenix Fire Technique, Dragon Fire Technique. Comprehensive Strength, the best among the Shonin. You can fight against the Chunin if a rookie is accidentally killed. In the eyes of the strong, you are nothing. This kind of evaluation, Uchiha Kage, is a little silent. Should I say it is my own? Although there are a lot of gaps compared to those who have become shadow-level openers at the age of 5 or 6, he is already very strong compared to the average person, and it is still a matter of age that restricts him. Some things require an increase in age. After that, you still need to hide it well, and you must not let others know your true strength. By the way, try to make yourself reach the shadow level before graduating from the ninja school. It's a little exciting to think about it. I haven't even gone to ninja school yet. Episode 10 _ The tour group hides a bouncing bomb? My father is not at home today, let's go eat barbecue. Just when Uchiha Kage was about to go out for a walk to see if there was a wild red envelope to open, Uchiha Makoto also ran to his house. Do you want to eat barbecue? Okay, I'll treat you. Uchiha Kage said directly without hesitation. Uchiha Kage still has a lot of money, not to mention the family and Konoha's allowance. It is Uchiha Kage's legacy, which is enough for Uchiha Kage to graduate, and even for a long time, he can live very well okay. However, the problem of depreciation of money in the future cannot be ruled out. Perhaps in the next 20 years, this money will become worthless. Okay. Uchiha Makoto didn't refuse Uchiha Kage's invitation to treat guests. Both of them were relatively rich, and eating a barbecue or something was nothing to them. So the two also walked towards the barbecue shop on the street. Uchiha Kage also saw a lot of ordinary red envelopes, and he chose to open these red envelopes without hesitation. Episode 10. Ding. The host opened the red to get the real cooking skills of Xingping Chuang. Is it fusion? This stuff seems good. Uchiha Kage's mind is also a burst of excitement. You know, this is the legendary king of medicine. After integrating this cooking skill, I am afraid that I can conquer the world with food. Most people. Ding. The host opens the red to get one of Katie's elf eggs. Catty dog? This seems to be pretty good too. In this world, there are psychic beasts, and the Uchiha family generally establishes contracts with ninja cats. However, the top psychic beast is the legendary 3 Holy Lands. It doesn't seem to be a problem to take out the Katie by yourself. It's just a special psychic beast. It's just a pity that there is no elf ball here, otherwise, it's really no different from a psychic beast. Ding. The host opens the red to get a weight-bearing bracelet, which can be set up to 10 times the gravity. This seems to be very good, and it is what he needs now. Relying on this weight-bearing bracelet, he will be able to exercise better physical skills in the future. Ding. The host opened the red envelope and got 15 liters of coconut milk from the beast of half immortals. Oh, it's coconut milk again. One thing to say, coconut milk is really good. I finished drinking it before. After the coconut milk, his whole being felt fulfilled. Even the feeling of weakness after training will be filled with coconut milk. There is no doubt that coconut milk is a great tonic, but it is a pity that all the previous coconut milk has been drank, and now there is a new coconut milk, which is better. Ganyu. YYDS. I really want to raise a Ganyu. If only I could have a steady stream of coconut milk. I don't know where the coconut milk of the system came from. It would be much more interesting if it was taken directly from other worlds. Ding. The host opened the red envelope to get Kaching's black stockings. Well, this thing, Uchiha Kage will never admit that he liked Master Ku in his previous life, even if he crooked Kaching several times. He even arrived to the extent of his life. However, he still likes Kaching. The system really understands me. Ding. The host opened the red envelope to get 15% of the template of Otsutsuki Yuki. Is it fusion? Another good thing, he did not choose fusion directly, and planned to wait for the night before fusion. Ding. The host opens the red envelope to get a heavenly sword. The Yishianjian in the martial arts world seems to be pretty good, although in a world like Naruto, it may be destroyed by some ninjutsu, but at this time, Yishianjian is definitely a rare sword. Ding. The host opened the red envelope and got 3 of Kelly's bouncing bombs. Well, this seems to be a good thing. After I become a little stronger, I will throw it to the Shimura family's clan. I believe it should be able to give Shimura Danzo a surprise. I just don't know how powerful this bouncing bomb is. If it blows up Konoha directly, it will be over. Or not for the time being. Ding. The host opened the red envelope to get 3 fairy beans. Good thing, this can be used to save your life. Delicious. Uchiha Kage and Uchiha Makoto walked and came to the barbecue restaurant. Just after entering the barbecue restaurant, Uchiha Kage was attracted by 3 figures, mainly because of the bright red envelopes on their heads. The 3 are the future Konoha Sannin. Right now, they are just Konoha's elite Nin, but no one doubts their potential. Well, however, the current Tsunade does not seem to have grown into the legendary due to Demon King. It seems that she has not fully grown up yet. Jiraiya, write a book about Uncle Lu who can be recognized by Jiraiya. Tsunade, any form of gambling, lose to Tsunade 100 times in a row. Orochimaru, help Orochimaru to take charge of the route. Winky face, why is there something wrong with the 3 red envelopes on their heads? Help Orochimaru to take charge of the route? Is this something you can decide for yourself now? Although the matter of the pits is hidden, U0, water, Z source, group 6, 5, 6, 6, 1 inch, 8:896, standby, use, medium, turn. Group 7, 6, 6, 0, 1, 8:3, 2, 0 Boeing, I don't mind doing it either, but he and Orochimaru are not related to each other. Losing to Tsunade 100 times, even if it is continuous, is even more difficult than going to the sky. Who has seen Hokage who doesn't know Tsunade's gambling luck? On the contrary, it is Jiraiya. It seems to be quite simple, but this is the current self. Can it be done? Episode 11_it's not a girlfriend, huh? Those little devils? Uchiha Kage's observation did not conceal the slightest, and he was soon noticed by Orochimaru, and the other Tsunade saw the Uchiha clan's logo on the other party's body is squinting. It seems to be the son of Senior Mirror. Orochimaru glanced at Uchiha thoughtfully. He was still very impressed with this young man. It is said that the super genius of the Uchiha family has now started Urgayu's writing round eyes. At this moment, he is not particularly interested in Sharingan, but he is still very interested in Uchiha Kage. Mr. Sarutobi had talked to himself privately before, and it seemed that he wanted to teach Uchiha Kage. In this regard, Orochimaru did not refuse. He knew that his teacher was paving the way for him, but before that, he had to observe Uchiha Kage carefully. If his personality was not suitable, he would also refuse him the teacher's Senior Mirror. Jiraiya's face was also full of sighs, and Jiraiya still has a good impression of his teacher's brother. He is definitely an alternative in the Uchiha clan. The general Uchiha clan is so annoying. It's a pity. Even Tsunade took a sip from the wine glass, and the relationship between the Chancho clan and the Uchiha clan has always been bad. Even though the Chancho clan is gone now, Tsunade does not have a favorable impression of the ordinary Uchiha. Similarly, he also has a certain favorable impression of the senior who can be recognized by his second grandfather and grandmother. But unfortunately, Uchiha Mirror sacrificed. I heard that the death of Q Uchiha is still strange. If you just want to investigate it, it will be very troublesome and even cause turmoil in the entire Konoha. Her teacher finally chose to give up. It's just this matter. Although Tsunade was dissatisfied, he didn't say much. After all, she and Uchiha Mirror are not particularly familiar with each other, and this is all for Konoha. Hey, kid, what are you looking at over there? Come here. Perhaps because he drank too much, Tsunade also waved at Uchiha Kage. Kage? What should I do? Uchiha Mikoto glanced at the future Sannin, and then turned to Uchiha Kage. She felt that these three seemed to be very powerful. The three of them now are not as famous as they will be in the future. That is the prestige that needs to be fought in battles past. Uchiha Kage said indifferently, then brought Uchiha Mikoto to Tsunade's table, first nodded slightly to Tsunade and said, Princess Tsunade. And then to Jiraiya again. He also nodded with Orochimaru, Mr. Jiraiya, Mr. Orochimaru. According to the status of the two elites today, most people see them as adults. However, Uchiha Kage doesn't like to call them like this. 30 years in Hadong and 30 years in Hishi. You don't need 30 years. 10 years after that, you will be stronger than them. Ha ha ha, kid, go out on a date with your little girlfriend. Jiraiya greeted Kage Uchiha and Mikoto Uchiha in a familiar way, and then teased, Kai, she's not a girlfriend. Uchiha Mikoto blushed when she heard Jiraiya's words, and said stutteringly. Uchiha Kage didn't say much. At this time, it was the performance of a straight man of steel that he denied it. Ha 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 ha, it's a bit inconsiderate. Zilai also laughed boldly. It's a pity, why did no one treat him like this in the first place? Obviously he looks so handsome, but he doesn't have such a childhood sweetheart. Some only have Tsunade's male wife, so violent, not cute at all. Little devil, are you going to start school soon? Suddenly, Tsunade said to Uchiha Kage, I remember that you and Naoshu are the same age. Rope tree? Uchiha Kage was also obviously stunned. He really didn't know much about rope tree. On the Chancho clan, the eldest young master who is not the eldest young master is hidden so tightly that even ordinary people do not know that he is the grandson of the first Hokage. It seems that he and Shinshu are in the same class. He glanced at Orochimaru on the side, but he didn't know if Shinshu would end up in front of Orochimaru again. There is one thing to say, Orochimaru, which is not blackened, is still very reliable. But in the end, it was because of the death of the rope tree that the real blackening began. So, is all this your calculation? Group possession. It seems that he felt Uchiha Kage's gaze, and the corner of Orochimaru's mouth showed a look of interest. Did this kid notice something? Really an interesting child, with a higher intelligence than ordinary peers. Genius? It is somewhat similar to himself. Are you interested in practicing against me? Uchiha Kage. Suddenly, Orochimaru said coldly. This sentence made Tsunade and Jiraiya also stunned for a while. They are the people who know Orochimaru best and know that Orochimaru will not do anything aimless. So why did he ask this child of the Uchiha clan to fight? Soon, they thought of something again. Are you interested in me? Mr. Orochimaru? Uchiha Kage also looked at Orochimaru with a dazzling gaze. It seems that his guess was correct. Orochimaru will become his new man under the arrangement of Hiruzen Sarutobi's fetters. Episode 12 Orochimaru, very interesting. This may be related to calculation, but for Uchiha Kage, the impact is not great. Has the apprenticeship Orochimaru affected you? In fact, the impact is not small. After apprenticing with Orochimaru, he has truly become a member of the Hokage faction. As for the future Orochimaru's defection to Konoha, will it affect him? That is more than 10 years later. At that time, Uchiha Kage felt that if he could not be the strongest Konoha, he would be a waste. And Orochimaru doesn't need to defect to Konoha. Wouldn't it be better if the pits were hidden? Isn't the instruction red envelope asking for Orochimaru to become the leader of the root? This may make some people in the Uchiha clan unhappy, but what does their unhappiness have to do with themselves? Doves will support themselves on it. Hearing Uchiha Kage's words, Orochimaru's mouth showed a smile and said, interesting, it seems that my evaluation of you can be improved to a higher level. You know a lot. Episode 12. After all, you're not a particularly warm-hearted person, aren't you? Mr. Orochimaru. Uchiha Kage said with a smile. He knew that when dealing with people like Orochimaru, what he had to do was not to pretend to be their fans, but to be their fans. Let the other party know that he is special and has something that he values. Obviously, he has succeeded. Interesting, it seems that you think you know me very well. Orochimaru narrowed his eyes, a glimmer of light flashed in his eyes. This young man seems to be smarter than the information he got. However, I just don't know, is it self-righteous or has real talent? Cough cough. At this time, Tsunade coughed lightly, and pointed at Uchiha Kage with his finger and said, then what about me and Jiraiya? How much do you know about us? Tsunade knows Orochimaru very well at this time. If Uchiha Kage's behavior is wrong, it will annoy Orochimaru. Tsunade felt that he still needed to do something. After all, this was the son of Q Uchiha. Princess Tsunade loves gambling, is good at magic power and medical ninjutsu. She is a hard-mouthed and soft-hearted woman. Uchiha Kage said indifferently, not to mention how good gambling skills are, but gambling luck seems to be really bad, almost never won. You bastard. A big tic-tac-toe appeared on Tsunade's forehead. What do you mean your gambling luck is bad? This kid is not cute at all. Immediately afterwards, Kage Uchiha looked at Jiraiya again. Jiraiya, who calls himself the Toad Immortal, was the tail of the crane among the three at first, and usually seems to be a fool. It seems very unreliable, but in fact, he is the kind of person who can trust his back to the other party. A very nice person, that is, very sexy. Often peeking at the bath. Before Uchiha Kage could finish his words, Jiraiya covered Uchiha Kage's mouth. Don't say the next thing. Jiraiya is still very happy about Uchiha Kage's evaluation of himself. That's right, my uncle, it's so good. But what's the lewd thing in the back? What the hell? You are a gentleman, okay? How could he possibly run and peek? It seems that your intelligence gathering ability is very good. Orochimaru looked at Uchiha Kage playfully and said, is it the Uchiha clan? Are you investigating us? No, if it is the Uchiha clan's investigation, it is impossible for you to be investigated. You know, your father told you that? At this time, Orochimaru thought of a lot of things in his mind. Maybe Uchiha Kyu thought a lot of things in the beginning. If there is no sacrifice, Uchiha Kage may ask one of the three of them to become Uchiha Kage's teacher in the future. At that time, the teacher will not refuse. After all, the two sides are old friends, and they can also bring the relationship between the Uchiha clan and their Hokage lineage closer. It's just that at that time, it may have been Uchiha Kage who chose the teacher, but now, it is they who are considering whether to accept Uchiha Kage. Who knows? Uchiha Kage smiled non-committally, and at the same time picked up his chopsticks and ate. Uchiha Mikoto was stunned when she saw this scene. Those words before had already opened Uchiha Mikoto's eyes. Uchiha Kage can actually chat and laugh with the three disciples of Hokage? And now, he even ate it directly. Idiot, don't you want to eat? A free meal. Uchiha Kage urged her by tapping her little head when she saw Uchiha Mikoto's stunned expression. This brat. Tsunade rubbed his temples. Compared to Uchiha Kage, his younger brother was much cuter. As for a meal, Tsunade didn't care about it at all. It was just a barbecue. The money she put out from a gamble was enough for the average person to eat barbecue for a month. However, for some unknown reason, Tsunade expected his younger brother to be as smart as Uchiha Kage. It's very interesting. Orochimaru said playfully. He felt Uchiha Kage's power, which was a kind of confidence that he didn't treat himself as a junior. He thinks he will be able to keep pace with them sooner or later. If it was an ordinary person, Orochimaru would feel that the other party was conceited, but in the case of Uchiha Kage, Orochimaru chose to believe that if the other party did not have such talent, it would not be worthy of the teacher's attention, even if it was the son of Mirror. Please ask for flowers, ask for a monthly pass, ask for an automatic subscription. Oh, so much I love you. Episode 13 _ It's not too much to grab a Mikoto, right? Have you tested chakra attributes? Suddenly, Orochimaru asked. Yeah. 5 attributes. Uchiha Kage said with a smile. His words made others stunned. 5 attributes. It is not that people with 5 attributes are more powerful than those with a single chakra attribute. In fact, the chakra attribute can also be cultivated independently in the future, but it may be slightly worse than the natural one. Of course, if it is born with 5 attributes of chakra, in many aspects, it is much easier at present. Among Konoha, the strongest ninja on the bright side, Hizen Sarutobi, is a ninja born with 5 attributes of chakra. Is that so? Orochimaru was a little silent when he heard the words. In fact, at the beginning, Orochimaru wanted to come up with 2 ninjutsu and let Uchiha Kage learn within the specified time, which was a test for him. However, considering that Uchiha Kage has already turned on the writing wheel eye, although he has not opened the 3-hook jade writing wheel eye, but with Uchiha Kage's talent, it is a matter of time. Learning ordinary ninjutsu will not be difficult for him at all. This made Orochimaru for a while not knowing how to test each other. Episode 13. It seems that I can only slowly observe the character and shinshing if everything is okay. Maybe I can cultivate a disciple who is not inferior to my teacher, or even better. Thinking of this, even Orochimaru was eager to try. Several people continued to eat afterwards. Of course, more of them were Tsunade and Jirai. Orochimaru, Uchiha Kage, and Uchiha Makoto were eating in silence. In the end, Princess Tsunade paid for the whole audience. After eating, the 3 also bid farewell to Uchiha Kage and Uchiha Makoto and left. Kage, today? Uchiha Makoto looked at Uchiha Kage hesitantly. Even she could see the unusualness of this matter. It seems that Orochimaru and the others have other thoughts about Uchiha Kage. Don't worry, it's alright, there is no harm to me. Uchiha Kage rubbed Uchiha Makoto's head and comforted. I hate it, my hair is messed up. Uchiha Makoto looked at Uchiha Kage angrily, but didn't pat his hands away. Okay, let's go back. Seeing Uchiha Makoto's cute appearance, Uchiha Kage's heart also moved. Such Makoto seems very cute. Rarely, he actually felt a touch of heartbeat. This is too punishing. You must know that the girl opposite is not yet 6 years old. People in Naruto world, although precocious, are eyeing the daughters of others who are less than 6 years old. This is no longer a satyr to describe it, but hentai. However, after thinking of Uchiha Fuyue, there was also a flash of coldness in Uchiha Kage's eyes. After thinking for so long, he was almost certain that Uchiha Kage's death and Uchiha Patriarch and Danzo could not be separated relationship, and even the 2 of them cooperated. After all, the 2 of them can be said to be the biggest vested interests of Uchiha Mirror. Under such circumstances, Uchiha Kage will not have the slightest affection for Uchiha Fuyue, so it is no problem to rob him of a wife, right? Yeah. Uchiha Makoto wanted to take a walk outside. She soon noticed that her little hand was being held by Uchiha Kage, and considering what Jiraiya said before, Uchiha Makoto, there was also a smile on his face. By Uchiha Rua, Water Resources Source Group, 6'5", 6 feet 6 inches, 1889, 6. Preparation. Use, Turn Group 7, 6'6", 01, 83, 2. 0. The feeling of pulling the shadow like this is really comfortable. After sending Uchiha Makoto home, Uchiha Kage put on a gravity bracelet and adjusted the gravity to twice the gravity. Then he felt a huge force applied to him, almost letting him. He stumbled. Twice the gravity does not mean that his weight is doubled. Likewise, the weight added to each of his organs is doubled. For those who practice the body, this is really the best thing. This is not a simple weight can be compared. It's a pity that he is not a Super Saiyan. He just obtained the template of Otsutsuki Yuki. If it is the template of Sun Wukong, he even has the confidence that when he grows up, he can directly explode the star. The mere Otsutsuki clan can't even do it, which is ridiculous. However, if I can adapt to twice the gravity, and practice like this, the effect will be multiplied with half the effort. Maybe I can really be invincible. Uchiha Kage murmured silently, and then merged the 15 template that he opened earlier. Chakra and physical fitness have improved a lot, even the pupil strength has improved. This makes Uchiha Kage very satisfied. Sure enough, if you want to make rapid progress, you still have to rely on the system. In the next few days, except when he went to Makoto's house to practice, Uchiha Kage was driving twice the gravity almost all the time, which made him very uncomfortable. But in terms of physical fitness, there was a visible improvement. This makes Uchiha Kage very satisfied. Although he does not plan to become a taijutsu ninja, taijutsu is indispensable. Look at Madara Uchiha. Even if he doesn't need ninjutsu and pupil power, just taijutsu, he is enough to abuse this almost everyone in the world. Please ask for flowers, ask for a monthly pass, ask for an automatic subscription. Oh, so much I love you. Episode 14 _ Uncle Sarubi, I created a ninjutsu. One day, Uchiha Kage was doing push-ups in the yard of his house, but someone walked into his yard. Uchiha Kage, who sensed that someone was coming, was also stunned, got up quickly, and said with a little joy, Uncle Sarutobi. Yeah. Sarutobi Hizen walked to Uchiha Kage with his hands on his back and nodded with satisfaction. I'm doing physical exercise. It seems that you've worked very hard these days. In fact, before Uchiha Kage found him, he had been observing Uchiha Kage for a while. Although the other side's push-ups were a bit unsatisfactory, they were not particularly fast, and they were not so good, but Sarutobi Hizen could still learn from Uchiha Kage. The muscles on the body can be seen one or two. Among his peers, Uchiha Kage is definitely the best. Unfortunately, what Sarutobi Hizen didn't know is that Uchiha Kage is driving twice the gravity at the moment, and even he plans to turn on the gravity mode in the future, whether he is going to school or after graduation. If twice is not enough, then 3 times. 3 times is not enough, just 4 times. Anyway, there are 10 times the gravity in total. This is enough for him to use for a long time. If he is used to 10 times the gravity, then he does not need to hide his strength. Even if he didn't reach the peak period of 6 path immortals by then, I'm afraid it won't be much worse. Before his own strength was not enough, he decided to be steady. If you don't lay a good foundation, you will be very slow to improve your strength in the future. If you don't have strength, you may die in battle, and you will not be able to protect the people around you. Uchiha Kage brought Sarutobi Hizen into the inn his own home. He said while making tea for the other party, "Do you protect those around you?" Sarutobi Hizen nodded gratified, and he naturally chose to believe Uchiha Kage's words. Mirror's son must inherit his will of fire. Now I just want to protect the people around me, but there is no problem, this is also a manifestation of the will of fire. Episode 14. Then you have to work hard. Tomorrow is the time to sign up for the ninja school. Sarutobi Hibiki said meaningfully, "I want to sign up." Uchiha Kage said quickly. In fact, many big families like their Uchiha family choose to practice in their own homes, and even after graduation, they will not let Konoha make unified assignments. Ninja school is more for civilians. The children of big families generally have their own training methods within the clan. Just arrange some children to go to ninja school to study. As the successor of Will of Fire, Uchiha Kage will naturally go to ninja school to study. Maybe this may waste a little time, but it is also politically correct. At Konoha, this is important. What's more, Uchiha Kage wants to change the Uchiha clan and become Hokage in the future, and Sarutobi Hizen's attention is also very important. Yeah. Hearing Uchiha Kage's decision to go to the ninja school without hesitation, Sarutobi Hizen was even more satisfied, as expected of the mirror's child. He has a dream that the children of Konoha in the future will all go to the ninja school to go to school and be nurtured by the will of fire. As for the behaviors of those big families who are independent, go to hell. You have to study hard in school. Some of the content in it may not be as good as the content taught in your clan, but there are also many interesting things. You can also meet other friends outside the family there and form new the fetters. Sarutobi Hizen took a sip of tea, and then said slowly, "Sometimes, strength is not the most important thing. On the contrary, meeting people and then working towards a goal together will make your life more colorful. And the power of one person, after all, can't do too many things. You will always need a partner just like your father, Danzo, they are to me." A strange color flashed in Uchiha Kage's eyes. No matter whether the future Sarutobi Hizen will change, whether he will become an old conspirator, at least the current Sarutobi Hizen is really not bad for him. I see, I will meet new friends. Uchiha Kage nodded again and again. Should Namake's Minato be with him? Before he got up, he would take him as a younger brother, right? Well, this can be considered a new bond. Perfectly achieved Sarutobi's goal. Very good. Sarutobi Hizen nodded in relief. Have you encountered any difficulties in your cultivation recently? I heard that you have chakra with 5 attributes. If it wasn't for me as Hokage, I didn't have time to teach my disciples. I want to accept you as a disciple. Well, I have mainly been exercising recently. I feel that my physical fitness is not good enough. Uchiha Kage said a little embarrassedly. Some people, on the surface, appear to be from the Uchiha clan, but they are actually from the Senju clan. Well, laying the foundation is very important. Sarutobi Hizen wanted to remind Uchiha Kage that your Uchiha family is playing with eyes, fire ninjutsu, and illusion. But considering that Uchiha Kage's push-ups before are really not satisfied with myself, nothing more to say. By the way, Uncle Sarutobi, I recently invented a ninjutsu, and I want to invite you to taste it. Suddenly, Uchiha Kage said coldly. Oh? Sarutobi Hizen suddenly became interested and created his own ninjutsu. Maybe that ninjutsu may not be very good, but Uchiha Kage's age should also be considered. Children have a sense of innovation, which is worth encouraging. What if one day an A-level Muji instant ninjutsu comes out? Well, how could there be such a ninjutsu in the world? It seems a little delusional. Please ask for flowers, ask for a monthly pass, ask for an automatic subscription. Oh, so much I love you. Episode 15 _ Master Carver's Guasha Guide. Uncle Sarutobi, I'm coming. Uchiha Kage said again. Yeah. Sarutobi Hizen didn't care about using ninjutsu at home with his strength. If something happened, he was confident that he could stop it at any time. The art of seduction. Uchiha Kage's hand was sealed, and the figure changed, turning into a girl in her 20s, and this girl's appearance, vaguely, had the shadow of Danzo. It's impossible to become a beautiful woman, it's impossible in this life. Isn't this cut off on the cheap Sarutobi day? But becoming a mother-in-law group hide or something, hehe. Uchiha Kage said that there is no pressure at all. This is it? Sarutobi Hizen's eyes widened, looking at this scene in disbelief. 2 blood bursts from his nose, HP 10,000. So exciting, so exciting. Shimura Danzo and the technique of seduction, the most powerful weapon against Sarutobi Hibiki, when the two are combined, exert a power that is unimaginable to ordinary people. Ding! Congratulations to the host for opening the command red envelope and obtaining the inheritance of Kaching. Is it fusion? Hearing the voice of the system, even Uchiha Kage's eyes widened. The inheritance of Qing Qing? Maybe it looks good. As Liu Qixing, Kaching's strength is quite good if he can apply these things well, then his strength will probably become extremely powerful. After all, Kaching is the existence known as Liu Little Thor. The only thing that worries Uchiha Kage is whether Kaching's swordsmanship will be too enchanting, and the reputation of fart-slanting swordsmanship is not blown out. Maybe I need to make a good adaptation at that time, and before I can't control the Flying Thunder God technique. Kaching's Star Do return seems to be somewhat similar to the effect of the Flying Thunder God technique. Episode 15. This wave does not seem to be a loss. Ahem, how did you come up with this ninjutsu? After Kage Uchiha changed back to his original state, Hiruzen Sarutobi also recovered. He felt that he needed to slow down, and for a while, he couldn't be with the group Zong met. Otherwise, in my mind, I am afraid that the appearance of Danzong women's clothes will appear involuntarily. It's a pity, Danzo is not a girl. If it were a girl, can't think about it. Biwako, I will not betray you. The special application of the transformation technique. After all, many adults are more lecherous. This ninjutsu can launch an attack while they are attracted. Uchiha Kage's face was innocent, revealing a look of "you coming soon," complimenting my expression said. Sarutobi Hizen was a little silent, and he said one thing: this ninjutsu may really play a certain role at a critical moment, but after thinking that the character of Uchiha's shadow change is the Danzo of women's clothing, what Sarutobi Hizen said was unacceptable. He wants to protect the best Danzo in the world. It always feels strange. Knowledge has increased again. This ninjutsu, don't use it unless it's a last resort, it will affect our Konoha's reputation. And don't use your Uncle Danzo. Of course, the last point is the most important. Okay. Uchiha Kage said that when it was really a last resort, he became Sarutobi Hizen. Yeah. Seeing Uchiha Kage agreeing, Sarutobi Hizen also breathed a sigh of relief. Kage is a good boy, very obedient, and will not rashly use this trick when he wants to come. As for why Uchiha Kage turned into Shimura Danzo, Sarutobi Hizen didn't ask any more questions. Kage was only a 5-year-old child, so what kind of bad thoughts could he have? After the two chatted for a while, Hiruzen Sarutobi also got up and left as Hokage. He was very busy, especially in the early days of school. He had to send invitations to ninja school to some children without parents' letter passed. Are you gone? Seeing Hiruzen Sarutobi leaving, Uchiha Kage's mouth also showed a slight smile. So let yourself see the strength of Liu Little Thor. System, merge. Uchiha Kage said to the system. Then he felt a huge amount of information integrated into his mind. Fart oblique swordsmanship, no, it was Yunlai swordsmanship, and it was instantly controlled by Uchiha Kage. The two core moves of the Star Do Return and the Heavenly Street Parade are both controlled by Uchiha Kage. He found that he did not need elemental power to use these two moves because of the system. He could use the check carrot replaces elemental power, and chakra is exactly what he lacks. And Yunlai swordsmanship is not like the simple few swords in the previous life games, but a set of very profound swordsmanship. These swordsmanships are even better than the Uchiha swordsmanship handed down by the family. After all, the Uchiha family has never been famous for swordsmanship. I just don't know how White Fang's swordsmanship is at this moment. Uchiha Kage has the urge to compete with White Fang. Sure enough, opening the command red envelope is the core key to becoming stronger. These skills have greatly improved Uchiha Kage's strength. Of course, it is impossible for him to have the strength of Kaching all of a sudden. He just got the inheritance of Kaching, and his physical quality is not as good as that of Kaching. Of course, if you use Star Do to return to your place, you may really be able to kill some powerful ninjas. Taking a computer as an analogy, the template of Otsutsuki Yuki gave Uchiha in good computer hardware, while Kaching's inheritance allowed him to adapt to the software, and his strength was not only improved by a little bit. Please ask for flowers, ask for a monthly pass, ask for an automatic subscription. Oh, so much I love you. Episode 16 Uzumaki Mito, Hashirama? Kage, we went to the school to sign up. Early the next morning, Uchiha Kage was taken out by Uchiha Hideki, and went to the ninja school with Uchiha Makoto to sign up. In fact, both Uchiha Kage and Uchiha Makoto do not need to go to the ninja school in the family. They can get the most suitable education for them. However, Uchiha Hideki is also a representative of Uchiha's doves. He is not like Uchiha's hawks who think that Uchiha is invincible. He believes that the relationship between the village and the family should be mutually inclusive. The Wave family is the Uchiha family of Konoha. If the village can give them a fair environment, then the Uchiha family can truly integrate into Konoha. Of course, writing round eyes or something cannot flow out. It's just a pity that people with one kind of thinking are really rare in the Uchiha clan, and within the family, the doves are at a disadvantage. Uchiha's mirror is gone. Uchiha Hideki has become a representative of the Uchiha family's dove faction, and he naturally wants to send Makoto to the ninja school bullying or something. When the three came to the school gate, the ninja school was already crowded with people, and many children were brought by their parents. And Uchiha Kage looked in one direction. It was an old lady, and the people around her were familiar to Uchiha Kage. It was Tsunade, who wanted to send her younger brother to school. Of course, Uchiha Kage was attracted by the old lady. Because of the relationship between Otsutsuki Yuki, he clearly felt the chakra breath of the nine tails, and this chakra even made him feel friendly. If water, resource, source, group, 6, 5, 6, 6, 1, 8. 8 inch 9 foot, 6, preparation, use, middle. Turn. Group. 7:6 foot 6 inch, 0, 1, 8, 3. 2 inch: 0, if you have 9-tailed chakra, if you want to improve your strength and improve your template, it should be a lot easier. It's a pity that Konoha won't allow it. The Uchiha family is close to the 9 tails. Even the previous Uchiha mirrors don't have such treatment, let alone his Uchiha shadow. I didn't expect that one to come too. Uchiha Hideki also recognized the identity of Uzumaki Mito, and said with some sigh. However, he didn't bring Shadow and Makoto up to talk and say hello because of Madara Uchiha. The Uchiha family has always kept aloof when it comes to Uzumaki Mito. On the contrary, many members of the ninja family greeted Uzumaki Mito respectfully. Yeah. It is because of her grandson. This one doesn't usually go out once a year. Uchiha Kage said with some sigh. Konoha, not a six-path immortal, just powerful.